All right, what up, everyone? Um, let's see here. Maybe I will actually go to my desk. I'll think about it. Anyway, guys, um, good evening, not good morning. Hopefully you guys are all doing good. We're gonna be reviewing the market today, October 28th, 2025. Um, I want to start making the market recaps again, but I swear I have no time. So anyway, we're gonna review the market. It's gonna be a lot of interesting stuff to review today. And one thing I was thinking, this is the first thing that came to mind when I was just barely looking at the chart. Um, First, I actually want to screenshot this because I'm gonna need to save this so I don't lose it, and then I'll get to what I'm gonna tell you guys in just a second. So this was a nice 2022 model, and you might be wondering, well, what is this? This ain't a break of structure. On the lower time frame, we probably broke a high, but the key is displacement, right? We have displacement and then displacement. Both displacement legs create gaps. That's what I'm looking for. So, yeah, I'm just gonna put 1150 2022 model. This was today, Tuesday. I might actually go to my desk. Yeah, I probably should. Okay, 1150 2022 model on the 1 minute. So this was a nice lunch macro trade. Okay, I'm going to get to what I'm going to tell you guys in just 1 second. Just hang on. I am going to go set this up here. Because, I don't know. It's just not actually that comfortable to just sit in bed like that. Oh my gosh. Hey, what up, everyone? Everyone's here now. Bot. Ghostface. Jake, did you trade today? Yeah, I took a trade. I took it live. Tried my best. It was a loss. We're going to learn from it. But yeah, we keep moving forward. We're staying locked in. I'm never giving up. You know what I'm saying? Every day, we keep moving. We keep going. We keep moving forward. Today was difficult. It was all-time highs. It was trickier conditions. And I didn't need to have to take a trade today. So, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's partly my fault, right? Partly my fault to just understand those conditions and recognize that it was a Tuesday before FOMC. I didn't need a trade, but also I thought it was okay. So, we're going to learn from it. So, let's jump into the charts in just a second. I am getting stuff set up at my desk because, well, I was going to do a stream just chilling in my bed, but I'm just gonna. I just decided that that's uncomfortable, so I'm setting everything up right now. So, all right, let's see here. Let's see. Are you gonna show up on the screen here? And I will get to the thing that I was just talking about. What up, Kirk? Good to see you, bro. I will get to. I think the most valuable lesson of today. Don't let me forget to tell you guys what I think was one of the most valuable lessons. I'll get to it. It was very subtle, but very important, actually. Very subtle, but very important. And I think, honestly, I think only 0.1% of people will ever even notice it about today. I think only 0.1% of people would ever even notice it. And I'll show you guys. So, by the way, for those who are just now getting here, I was showing how this was a nice lunch macro trade. We swept out the lows, got displacement. Once again, the key is displacement. Doesn't have to be perfect break of structure. Displacement for value gap forms, and then expansion during the lunch macro. Yeah, I use Midnight Open. I love Midnight Open. I mean, true opens in general, right? Because it's all fractal. So if Midnight Open works, then logically you can apply that same concept to the session, to the 90-minute cycle, etc. So true opens in general, bro. That's the real sauce. You gotta use everything together in confluence. All right. So, this is what I was going to get to right here, right? Hold up. I want my other screen to turn on here first before I tell you guys. Alright. This song's been playing on repeat, bro. Okay. Alright, here we go. So, I meant to drag this screen over. Okay. So, the key I was going to talk about from today that I think almost no one is going to recognize. Okay. I don't know why, but the screen kind of glitched there for a second. Okay. I need to get the... Just hang on one more second. I'm just setting this other screen up here. Alright, we good? We good? Okay. So, the valuable secret about today that I think really could have saved a lot of people, including myself, is that when we get this displacement leg, do you guys remember what happened? Do you guys remember when we got this candle and then the next candle went crazy? Do you remember that? When we got this crazy displacement leg and we wicked out that high? Do you remember? You guys remember that, right? It was like instantaneous. Instantaneous. And I think most people don't even realize like what was really going on behind the scenes when we got that. And I think, like I said, 0.1% of people are really going to understand what's going on when we get this candle, right? But when you observe it and when you look at it, you'll realize whenever this happens, right? Whenever you get this crazy explosive candle that wicks out highs, guys, this is something I've realized through screen time, is this candle, it's algorithmically generating stop losses. It's taking stop losses right here. It's algorithmically taking these stop losses, right? It's doing this on purpose to gather these stops and deliver them back down to this low. And this is something that I've realized through screen time, and honestly, like, I wasn't even thinking about it, like, but I just realized it today. Like, you guys remember how, let's actually go pull it up real quick, because this is crazy when you really think about what happened today with this. It all makes total sense. So we're going to pull this up. But most people, when they think about what happened, they just think, oh, it was just bad price action. But no, this was actually very purposeful. What happened is this candle induced people to go long. What happened is we didn't close above this high. What does that mean? This is now a rejection block. This rejection block took stop losses, right? This, such a subtle thing. But if I'm seeing that, I'm going into the market and I see that this rejection block took all those stop losses, and remember just conceptualizing the fact that it happened within like that 1 to 5 seconds. Like if I go down to the 10-second chart, you can see how fast this really actually happened. Like this was crazy. Like this happened so fast. And I honestly, this is a very, very good learning opportunity, because I think we needed a day like today to really understand price action at that deeper level. Because what happened, right? Within 5 seconds, algorithmic displacement to take out the stops and then close back low. What did they just do? They created a rejection block that took stops. So now this rejection block sends price lower, right? You guys see what happened. If this candle had been even like a minute, right? If it occurred over a course of a minute or 2 minutes, I'd be like, okay, it probably doesn't mean anything. But look at how it happened within 5 seconds, right? This candle happens within 5 seconds, bro. Within 5 seconds. that was done on purpose to gather up these stops and then redistribute them back down to this old low. Do you guys see, like, kind of, you're starting to read between the lines of what's really going on. Well, it's not necessarily rejection block send price lower, it's conceptualizing what actually happened. Like, when we got this, was this a slow, methodical, regular move higher, or was this a algorithmically generated candle in 5 seconds? And when you realize it's the second, when you realize, oh, yo, they made this candle form in 5 seconds, oh, holy crap, that is going to be a nice rejection block. So you guys kind of get what I'm saying. Most people, they're never going to realize that about today. They're just going to blame the market and say, oh, wow, why did this fail? But no, guys, we like, it's not a, like, guys, remember how fast this happened? Let's actually go to the other screen. This happened so stupidly fast, actually. I remember I was shocked.
Okay, so this into it. Identify. Look.
It was right there. Let's go back a little bit.
Hey, that's these lows. So this could end up being a buy model.
I'm gonna take my AirPods out for a second. This is the part in the movie where you literally feel glued to your seat because you're like what is really going on when we get this candle, guys? Pay very close attention when we get this candle.
Because now we've taken 922.
Like a less than 5 second period of time.
What is the 22-minute true up? Holy! Yeah, like I said. What did I say? Because why?
So what happened there, right? Within 5 seconds, boom! Instant pump, rejection block. Stops were taken there. Stop losses were taken. The rejection block holds the stop losses, right? We conceptualize this on the chart by drawing a box around this rejection block. Orders get filled, the market gets sent back to the low. Do you guys see what I'm saying, right? Most people, they're going to overlook this because they're going to just not understand like how this candle formed. It happened in 5 seconds. It's crazy, bro. But when you start to realize, when you start to see this happen, I've seen this, like, I kid you not. Sometimes what will happen is it will be the true open. It will be the true open. It'll be 130, bro. It'll be 130, and then I kid you not, as soon as that 130 true open closes, boom, they form the rejection block that takes the stops. I kid you not. It is mind-boggling. I'm not going to call it them because as far as I know, like, it's just market participants stopping other market participants out at a specific time. I don't know all the details, but I can clearly see this happened in 5 seconds. So what's happening? Stop losses are gathered from here, orders filled here, delivery to the opposing end. Crazy, bro. It's crazy. But let's watch this one more time because this is just holy crap, bro. Once again, if this was just a normal candle that went up normal, I would not be saying any of this crap because it wouldn't be valid. It wouldn't be valid. It would just be words. But the fact that it happened within like 3 to 5 seconds tells me that rejection block was made purposefully to get orders filled and deliver price back down.
Because now we've taken 922. What is the 22-minute true up? Holy! Yeah, like I said. What did I say?
Because I've seen this happen quite a few times now. It's not just this time. I've seen this happen actually a decent amount. Not going to say a ton, but a decent amount, right? Anyway, I had to get that off my chest. But I think most people, they're not going to recognize that about today. They're just going to look at the market from today and just say, oh, You know what? It was a loss. Moved on. From now on, if I see something like that happen that takes highs, I'm not taking longs anymore. I'm not taking longs because I know what just happened. I know if a candle forms in 5 seconds and forms a rejection block in 5 seconds, I know what they just did. I know. I'm stepping back. I'm putting my hands down. I'm saying, yo, they just formed a rejection block to take stops within 5 seconds. That was done on purpose. It's too much risk for me to even consider taking a long at this point. Most people will never get that. They're never going to get that. But that's what happened, right? So rejection block, orders get filled, pushing into the rejection block. 1, 2, 3, 4. Delivery back down. Oh my gosh. That's crazy. I think I need to go on a break, guys. Oh my gosh. What a fascinating discovery about today. Wow. Not to mention, right, we're above 922, which is our 90-minute true open, right? Important to note. So yeah, I'm probably gonna take a break in just a second because my head kind of hurts, but oh my, because I've been talking and I've been yelling. Oh my gosh, but whoa. My mind just got shattered. 922. So yeah, above 922, and then what? We need the 22-minute true open. So what is that? So there's 928, there's 951. So we'll use 951. Jake, how long you been trading? So I've been trading 27 months. I've been into like markets in general for like 5 or 6 years because I was in crypto for a long time before that. Yeah, let's make a note of this, right? This rejection block forms and takes liquidity within 5 seconds. What does that tell us about what is really happening? 6 7 6 7 6 7 6 7 6 7. What is if a rejection block forms and it takes liquidity in 5 seconds and then it closes back down? I'm not taking longs against that because I know what just happened. Like, really, what really just happened when that rejection block closed? Ask yourself that. Stops were taken. Obviously. So, if stops were taken within 5 seconds, they're going to send price back down. I don't want a long against that. I'm not going to... Here, how do I word this better? Rejection block forms and takes liquidity within 5 seconds. So if I ever see this in the market again, if I ever see this occur in the market again, whether there's SMT or not, like I know that there wasn't even SMT with this high. I'm aware. There wasn't even this wasn't even Phoenix. I don't care, right? I conceptualize that even without SMT, maybe there was with YM, by the way. We don't actually know for sure. If there was SMT with YM, I think I gotta stand up and take a walk because that's gonna blow my mind. Okay. Even if there wasn't SMT, though, it doesn't really matter, to be honest. It doesn't matter. Because the same concept applies whether there was SMT or not. Yeah, but there was SMT over here. So. But my point is, guys, my point with all this is just conceptualize this. If I ever see this happen in the market where we form a candle in 5 seconds, where a candle forms in 5 seconds taking stops, I'm not longing against that, right? I'm just not going to. I'm not going to long against that. Because I can tell what really happened. If this candle, once again, if this candle formed over the course of 2 to 3 minutes, it'd be different because I know that it was just a regular candle. But this formed in 5 seconds or less, or maybe less. If this formed in 5 seconds or less, that was done on purpose, bro. That was done completely and utterly on purpose. I'm not longing against that crap. Crazy lesson from today. Dude, I'm glad, bro. I'm so glad. Wow. Just mind-blowing, bro. I think this calls for a break. Holy crap. Once again, if it was 2 minutes, if it was 3 minutes, that candle forming in 2 to 3 minutes, you wouldn't think anything. You wouldn't care. But the fact it happens in 5 seconds, remember that. If you all of a sudden see, like, all of a sudden, boom, injection of volatility like that, don't just think, oh, bullish. Think, are they doing something on purpose? Is the market doing something on purpose? Then you start to get behind the scenes of what is really going on. Crazy. Let's go ahead and screenshot this. Wow, yeah, this calls for a break. I'm going to take a break. Holy crap. My mind is blown right now, bro. Algorithmic, I'm going to call it algorithmic rejection block. Taken in 5 seconds. Takes liquidity in 5 seconds. Crazy, bro. I'm not longing against that ever again. That's a huge lesson from today. Huge lesson. I'm not ever longing against that. It'd be, like I said, it'd be different if it was 2 to 3 minutes of that candle forming. But no, that happened in 5 seconds. I can tell that that's purposeful. Crazy, bro. All right, I'm going to take a little break. The reason I'm profitable is because I don't take... Hey, what up, Gary? These things exchange. Alright, anyways, I'm going to go on a break, guys. Crazy, though. That's just crazy, man. on 1 second. Just insane. Okay. 1 minute. Yeah, man. That's just mind blowing. I'm actually kind of curious, like if this was a 30-second rejection block. Yeah, same thing. It's probably even on the 5-second too, but I'm not gonna go down that far. But once again, coolest part about this being also not necessarily the coolest part, but just another interesting part is we were above the true opens, right? Oh, okay. So 1 minute rejection block. And we were above the true opens. Unfortunately, no SMT, so not really a Phoenix model, but I mean, conceptualize it. Maybe it's worth taking for you. Maybe you understand the concept of the fact that that candle formed in 5 seconds, so it algorithmically took stop losses. So you want to get on side with that. So here I'm gonna mark out here that we were above true opens as well. Okay. Above true opens as well. Crazy. But yeah, that was done on purpose. We could also go to a different cycle, like the next one over, on the 22 minute. I kind of want to look at that, right? So this was 9:51 with the next 22 minute cycle. That's going to be, I think, 10:07. Let's see. I have it saved. 10:13. Yeah. Yeah, so look, right? 10:13 is the true open. So why is this important? Why is 10:13 important here? And also, why is this 10:14 candle important? Why is all of that important, actually? Guys, check this out, right? So here's the 90-minute true open. Here's the 22-minute true open. What's our new key level? What's our new like point of interest that we're looking at that is obviously occurred on the charts? What's the new point of interest? This rejection block. This rejection block is basically the talk of the town. This is what everyone's looking at, right? Is the point of interest. So, if we're looking for an optimal trade as smart money, we are not going to want to enter until we get this new true open to form on the 22 minute. Because we want to make sure we get an entry above it. We want to make sure we get an entry above 10:13. So, 10:13 forms. Then what happens? We tap our point of interest. At what time? 1014. 1014 is what? 1014 is what? 1 plus 4 equals 6. So 369 times. So that's an additional extra confluence. If we tap that rejection block, and let's say you waited for that to enter, and then you targeted that low, that's 3R. So it's the power of understanding the narrative of the situation. Understand the narrative of the situation. In this very specific situation, what occurred? In this very specific situation. Here, let's make this actually a little smaller. In this specific situation, what occurred? We got this rejection block that formed in 5 seconds. Right? That's where our eyes are drawn to. So that rejection block forms in 5 seconds. Whoops. So then how can we get in? How can we get in on this move? Well, let's wait. Let's just wait. Let's wait for the next true open. So ideal entry occurs once next 22-minute true open is created past after the rejection blocks formation. Okay, so ideal entry occurs once the 22-minute true open is created. This is, by the way, this is the next, the last 22-minute true open was at 9:51, so we haven't had a new one yet until here. This is when the new one forms. Open, tap the rejection block, instant delivery to the low. Crazy. And then final cherry on the cake being the 369. Crazy. And then not to mention the fact we are above 7:30 as well. We are above midnight, right? We're above every single true open. So you can start to see why the market did what it did. $7:30, midnight. I believe the true week open as well. Yeah, because we were at all-time highs. So you can kind of get why this happened. Crazy stuff. Honestly, this is just, it is mind-boggling actually. So this isn't really Phoenix model because there's no SMT, unless there is. Let's see. Yeah, I guess there's not. This is interesting because there's no SMT, so I'm not gonna call this a valid model. I'm not even gonna mark it out as a trade, but I am just gonna show like the rejection block delivers price lower. When? Exactly when it should. So I'm not going to even mark this out as a trade. I'm just going to say ideal entry forms perfectly after 10, 13 true open. Okay. Now what do we look at? What do we look at? Oh, might take another break, guys. But yeah, dude, I got a sub. Let's go. Yeah, because I get so energetic, and then I just start to chill out. Okay, let's see if there's even anyone watching. Depending on how many people are watching, I might take a break. 4 watching. I'm going to take a break. And I'll be right back. But yeah, basically the point is, like, time and price perfectly aligned exactly right at that candle, which is why that started that move. It's just mind-blowing. So, let's move on here. Okay, so that essentially explains what kind of happened today with that move lower at 10 a.m. And so now in the future, when we get a candle that forms like that in 5 seconds, we're going to kind of know, hey, decent possibility that that's what could be going on. Now we know for the future. So, next thing is, okay, so we form our low here. What needed to happen? What needed to happen for the low of the buy model to be formed? Does anyone know? Does anyone know? What needed to happen for this to be the low? Does anyone know? What needed to happen? Why did the market... What was the decent reasoning for why this did not end up being the low, but this did? Alright, I'm going to leave that question there. If anyone has any answer, put it in the chat. But why was this over here the low and not this? Alright, taking a break. Anyone know? All right. So the key with this, right, is, remember what we were saying? Oh my gosh. I was thinking that we took 730, but actually we did not. We did end up taking 830 though. Okay. Never mind. What I was gonna say is that we're gonna have to take 730, but I thought 730 was right here, but it's not. It's over here. Either way, right? We needed to come fill this gap. That's essentially what needed to happen next. That was, what's this? This was overnight in London. So we got to do the 15-minute. Okay, so we needed to rebalance. So the correct answer to that question was we needed to rebalance this 15-minute gap. So, pretty cool. Now, something else worth noting is I think there's a decent chance that there was a propulsion block trade within this. And I'm going to show you what I mean. So, we have 15-minute for value gap. We end up getting SMT with this low, 645. I don't think it's time-based, but still, right? Still. It's a nice SMT. We get SMT with that low into this 15-minute for value gap. Okay. Now what? Right? We come down from the bottom of this buy model. We sweep out the low. Let's drop down to our aligned time frame, which is the 1 minute, right? Once again, you could even mark out the gap like this, but let's just do it like this for just the sake of it. And all of a sudden, right, here we see liquidity sweep. So here's the bottom of flow state. Whoops. SMT. All right, liquidity sweep. We sweep out the low. Okay. Now what? Now we swept out the low. Okay. We get aggressive displacement off of it. Once again, I don't care that we didn't break this high. I don't care there's no high broken within here. That doesn't matter. What matters is, was this displacement? Yes, right? There was displacement here. That's what matters. Displacement is what matters, not the actual break of a high. We want to see displacement. Okay, so the market obviously displaced away. Now, we come back, rebalance. Ant-Man, bro, I don't know what you're doing here. If you think it's a scam, then I don't know, man. I'm just going what makes sense to me. If you don't want to be here and watch, then I guess don't. But I go off of what I've seen from my backtesting and what makes sense to me. So, pop off the low, displacement. Once again, I don't care that we didn't break out a high. We didn't break a high. We got displacement, we come back down, rebalance this gap, displacement, and, well, what's interesting is theoretically you can consider this change in state, this candle closure. I wouldn't, but you could. But you could also consider this change in state right here. So let's just mark this out just for the sake of it, right? Let's just say that we were to take this as a change in state right here, because this is an order block, right? These two down close candles, so it's a change in state. All order blocks are change in states. All change in states are order blocks. From my backtesting. Do your own backtesting. That's what I've found to be true. Alright, so we can project this out for projections, and then where do we go for projections? So that is one way to have taken this 15-minute, 1-minute model. Maybe not the best way. If not, how come you lost today? I tried my best. Just because something doesn't just because I take a loss doesn't mean something does not work and something isn't the truth. I mean, that's crazy to even say, bro. Like, how come if there was the football, how come that football team didn't win the NFL? Because they're a professional football team, so they should have won the NFL. Like, the logic doesn't make sense, dude. You can't say something's invalid just because someone failed at applying it. So just because someone doesn't apply something correctly for the day and they're still learning doesn't mean that it's invalid. Honestly, bro, Ant-Man, why are you here, bro? Like, I am here telling the truth about these markets. And you're over here just like, how come you lost today? And ICT sucks. Bro, do your own live stream, bro. Why do you even care? If you really if you're so much better, why aren't you trading live? Why aren't you doing a backtesting stream right now? That's what I thought. So just if you just don't want to appreciate the live stream, then leave, bro. I don't care. I really do not care. But I don't know why you're here if you're just gonna say those things. Medbach, you're funny. What up, Medbach? But I do what makes sense to me from my backtesting. I do what makes sense to me, and trust me, if ICT didn't make sense to me, I wouldn't freaking use it, bro. I wouldn't use ICT if it didn't make sense. But it does. It does. Because it's true. It's true. I have been trading for 27 months. I have been in financial markets for 6, 7 years. I know a thing or two about these markets, and I do what makes sense to me. And ICT, you can't get more precise than a lot of what occurs under ICT concepts. Why would you try a new what? Bro, just because you're still getting better at something doesn't mean it doesn't work. Period. Like that is the case with anything in life, bro. Anything in life. You give up just because you don't understand it, or you think it, like, that is why so many people will never make it as traders, because they can't see past that understanding. You can understand the market's moving algorithmically, it's manipulated, but you might not be perfect because you're a human being, right? You're a human freaking being, but you still keep showing up because you know that these markets, you can't fake this precision. You can't fake it. So anyway, I'm done talking to you, Ant-Man, bro. So this isn't necessarily the most obvious trade, but I'm just marking out just stuff that I see. $11.41. Full state retest. 15-minute lining with the 1 minute. All right. So yeah. It's not the most obvious trade in the world. I'm not even gonna lie. So let's try and figure out how could this have been framed a little bit more obviously. Well, we talked about how that was a 2022 model, right? I showed you guys this, and if you didn't see it, it was at the very beginning of the stream. I talked about how it's a nice 2022 model going into the lunch macro, right? What we had was a sweep of the low, very obvious sweep, right? Look at how we react off of that. Displacement higher. Once again, do I care that this isn't break of structure? No, because it's displacement. Displacement is what matters. Displacement, if there's displacement, lower time frame broke structure anyway. So that's what I care about. Displacement, right? Displacement and then displacement. So what's forming after we get these displacement legs? Fair value gap in discount. Fair value gap in discount. So this is a high probability 2022 model. We enter at that fair value gap at equilibrium. You can put stop below the momentum candle, and look at that. 11:50 perfectly is exactly when that entry occurs, and we expand during the lunch macro. Ant-Man, Ant-Man, can you do this with your EMAs, bro? Could you do this with your MACD? Could you do this with your RSI? Could you do this with anything other than ICT? No. So why the heck would I use anything else? Why? You can't fake precision like this, bro. And it's just the truth. It is just the truth. If you don't want to hear the truth, then don't be here. That's the beauty of life. It's completely optional. You don't have to be here. You get what I'm saying? This is a random YouTube live stream. Hey man, I try to help you guys. I try to help everyone for free. And I get people like you who come in here and they're like, oh, ICE doesn't work. I'm not here to help you. The people like Ant-Man, I am not here to help. I'm here to help the people who want help and are willing to learn. And that, you know, because obviously I'm still getting better. I'm still learning as well. But I wish I had that person to be there for me as I was going on my journey. And I never had that guy. And I just wish, it makes me so mad that I never had that person. And so I'd rather be that person for someone than no one. And for the people like Ant-Man who just show up here and they're like, yo, Icy sucks. What? Dude, the stream isn't for you. You can leave. You can leave. The stream's not for you. You can leave. Anyway, the stream's not for you, Ant-Man. Vinny, like, genuinely. I don't know why you're still here. Jake, you can't convince people. Yeah, I am just focusing on myself. It's just stupid, bro. It's just stupid. Like, why are you watching me? It's almost like secretly deep down there's a feeling of like they know that there's truth to it, because otherwise I don't know why they're still watching, because I just don't know. I don't get it. But anyway, was that also a 5-second rejection block? Yeah, I believe so. But wow, holy crap, man. Holy crap. Just crazy precision in this market. But yeah, that's kind of the way you would take this, right? Once again, let's mark this out a little better. 5-second rejection block. Let's go ahead and see if Snowman's right about this. There might have been, bro. I mean, maybe your chart was a little different than mine, but it's possible. Definitely probably a 15-second rejection block. Yeah, definitely 15-second. So we got a 15-second Phoenix model out of that. So you're right about that, Phoenix. Or Snowman. So see that? See how we got a rejection block on the 15-second? We end up getting SMT with it. Precision. Precision. Can't make that up, man. SMT with that. Right in that fair value gap we already knew was high probability. Okay, let's go ahead and mark this whole thing out again. But we're gonna include this time. We're gonna include the we're gonna include the 1 minute breaker structure. Right? There are the 1 minute for value gaps, and then the 15-second rejection block. And let's actually mark the 15-minute for value gap a little differently. Like this. Or even like this, you could do that. I'm going to mark it out like this, though. Yeah, exactly. So you can get really precise with a 1 minute for value gap using a rejection block in SMT like that. Very good observation, Snowman. Like, genuinely, that is like some very high level thinking. So props to you for even noticing that, because that's not easy to see. Okay. So yeah, Ant-Man, I am ignoring you now. So if you say anything else that's like stupid, I'm not gonna respond to you. So. Okay, accumulation, manipulation. We had SMT with that low over there. Once again, displacement. So once again, I don't care if it's actually a break structure, because what matters is it displacement? Yes. We got displacement. Bang. Displacement. Then what happens again? Displacement. Both of these create fair value gaps. So we have a fair value gap that gets created here on the right hand side of the curve, and then we have a fair value gap that gets created here on the right hand side of the curve. This is what we're looking at when we want to see the 2022 model playing out. We want to see displacement and then gaps form with an obvious draw on liquidity, which is, well, these highs, right? These will all be low resistance now. Okay, so LR. So accumulation, manipulation, displacement leg, fair value gap getting created, fair value gap getting created, SMT within that, and then expansion. So I'm just going to save this as algorithmic displacement. And yes, I'm merging those two candles together. I really, like I said, sometimes you can just merge candles because you're conceptualizing a gap. That's the way I see it from my back testing, at least. You can disagree with me, that's fine, but that's just what I think. So 2022 for value gap, 2022 for value gap. Bang, bang, SMT. Bang. And then where do we go to go run this LRLR? So, all right, we're just gonna save this as algorithmic displacement, just showing like, yo, we got algorithmic displacement. These days been rough for traders. TGR lost 300K this month while dodging in Japan living life. I know. And Ant-Man getting hating on me for one loss today, bro. One loss. When I had an incorrect read on the market because of that rejection block. That was one of the first things I said when I got on stream was, yo, I should have realized that that rejection block was generated on purpose. Yeah, it's been tough, man. It's been tough, but you can't blame the market, guys. You can't just sit there and say, "Oh, wow, it's hard." No, it's just the market doing its thing, and you have to adapt and learn. You have to adapt and learn whether it's hard or not. So, I'm gonna save this as algorithmic displacement, and then yeah, I'll save that. All right, I'm taking another break. I don't know why. I used to get really easily. I get headaches, so I just gotta take a lot of breaks. bathroom now. Dang, guys, there's 12 people watching. That's crazy. That is crazy. Alright. I don't know if there still is. Probably not, but that's crazy. So, anyway, where do we go from here? So, I am curious. You know, this is just part of backtesting is just observing behavior. I want to see where we below true opens, right? This is how I started to learn about true opens. Is I would just be like, do they work? Like objectively, does the true opens do anything, right? And I started to realize, like, yo, they actually do. I use EMAs too. I'm more profitable than you and have been doing it for 3 weeks. Okay, that's great, man. Okay, where were we? So, you have to backtest because you suck, Jackie boy. Okay, I said I was gonna ignore Ant-Man, but hold up. Didn't I say that, like, why are you here? Like, that you could just leave? The fact you're not leaving, hold up, the fact you're not leaving, it's suspicious, right? It's a little suspicious because if you truly were just some random guy who was hitting on me and you didn't care, you would just leave. But why are you still freaking here, Ant-Man? Why are you still watching me? Why do you care so much? It shows that there's some reason you're still here, bro. It's either because A, you know it's true, or B, you hate the fact that it seems true. I don't know. But why are you still here? Because if you didn't care, then you would have left. I am actually just curious. Why are you still here? Okay. Trying to compare you to the EMAs are the truth, bro. EMAs are the truth. Bro. Oh my gosh. Ant-Man, how long have you been trading? How long have you been trading? Oh my gosh. You think the market cares about EMA? You think that has anything to do with how the market hunts highs and lows within the market? You think the market cares about an indicator that plotted a line that was a derivative of the actual chart itself that's delayed by 10 candles versus using the actual price action that occurs on the chart in live time? Bro, are you dumb? The only way to determine where price action is going is by using the candlesticks themselves. How else? I mean, maybe there's other ways. I'm not saying, but dude, EMAs, you can't. It's delayed 10 candles, bro. EMA 5 years, and that's what. Okay. Anyway. All right. If it's working for you, that's great, man. That's great. Happy for you. Oh my gosh. Alright, what do we even look at? Always gonna look at true opens. Going back to listening to music. So, true opens. I just get curious. Did we respect true opens today with this move higher? 730 was all the way back here, so we did not take that. But the true open of this 90 minutes would have been... This is what I mean when I say I just observed price action for what it was to learn. So the true open would have been... So 1030, 1052, right? And this is just what I do. I repeat this over and over and over again. Like, did this happen or did this not? What did the market respect this idea or not? And then I go back and forth, repeat, back, forth, back, forth. Did the market respond to this concept or not? If so, I'm going to utilize it, right? That's how I started to realize new day opening gaps work. That's how I started to realize first set up for value gap work. That's how I started to realize every single concept I use works is because you go back and forth and you say, what works? What works? Does this work? Is this actually true in the charts? Let me go look. So, true open, yeah, the true open was 1052. So we were definitely below that, right? So, was this useful in detecting the manipulation or was it not? Obviously, it helped out with this for value gap, right? You see how the entry, oh my gosh. You see how the entry occurs perfectly below 1052 on the right-hand side of the curve? Is that a coincidence? Is that a coincidence that the entry for this 1 minute for value gap for the 2022 model occurs at the 90-minute true open on the opposite side of the curve? No. It's not, bro. It's not. Could an EMA tell me that? Bro. Just insane. Okay, I just like to experiment. Let's look and see if there was a 22-minute true open, which would have been, let's see. What? 11. So 11:38. Let's just get the line tool out and see what it says. They're just funny. I don't know. It's just kind of it's kind of just humorous. I don't know why they're still here. Part of me thinks like the market makers send people like that to go into my streams to stop me from spreading the truth. They're like, bro, get some guys in there, tell him about EMAs because he's telling too much sauce. Stop him. He's giving out too much sauce. You gotta get Ant-Man and that other freaking dude in there to stop him telling him so much sauce. like I know that's stupid. Like that's probably not happening. But like, what if, bro? What if they're like people that are like, yo, he's telling everyone about too much sauce. We gotta get guys in there to convert people back to EMAs. Part of me does think that, but probably not. But it is just weird how they care so much. That's the part that always confuses me. Is like, why do they care? Let's see. What do I have here? 11. What's the next true open? 11:43. Okay. Yeah, so what do you see here? Right? What do you see? What do you see? What do you see, guys? What do you see? The market waited. It waited for the 11:43 22-minute true open. You can't get more precise than this, guys. You can't get more precise than this. The market waited perfectly for us to take both these true opens. 11:43. Actually, let's just get this time level pulled up here. This, man, I thought this was just going to be a regular stream, bro. I did not think this was going to be so crazy. 11:43. Let's just... Let's just get it to populate here, because I don't want to mark it out wrong, because this is, like, too good. This is too good. Okay, can it load? $11:43. Come on, load. Anyway, let's just go back to the lower time frame. Wait, why is it not loading? Okay, there we go. So yeah, 11:43 is right here. Man, I can't tell you how many times I've seen this happen, actually. This is crazy. What'll happen is right at the top of the order block will form the true open. And then we will purposely get that final manipulation leg right below both true opens. That's just insane. Wow. That is just insane. Just insane. Do you guys see how the market waited perfectly for 11:43? No freaking way. Oh my. Bro! What time did this happen? Someone do the calculation. What time did this happen, bro? What time did this happen? 11:43. Someone do the math for me. Oh my gosh. 11:43. 1 plus 1 is 2. Plus 4 is 6. Plus 3 is 9. The highest probability of the 369 times. Bro. I'm going on a break, bro. Oh my gosh. My gosh, bro. Oh. You can't make this up. You can't make this up. What happened? I'll show you. You want to see?
What happened?
I'll show you. So, what happened is, right? This is a key time, right? It's a time that's going to be useful to determine premium and discount, right? Anything below this, it's going to be good entry for long. Same with this. So it's basically an additional confluence for your trade, right? So we had a 2022 model. We had a liquidity sweep, displacement leg. So fair value gap forms there. Liquidity sweep, displacement leg, fair value gap forms there. Look at our key time levels, right? Look how perfectly, right as this candle forms, we take out both time levels at this exact spot into this fair value gap at 11:43, which I don't know if I told you about the 369 stuff.
Yeah.
But you can take what's called a digital root. Basically, it's just an additional confluence, just like an SMT is. But you use a time and you split it up. So 1 plus 1 plus 4 plus 3. If it's a 3, 6, or a 9, it's higher probability. 9 is the highest probability one.
Yeah.
9 occurs right at this candle.
Boom.
Boom. Into the 90-minute true open, into the 1-minute fair value gap, below the 22-minute true open, and then we expand.
Wow.
Isn't that pretty crazy?
Did that just happen in London?
That's today.
That's today.
That's crazy.
That's crazy.
Isn't that crazy?
That's crazy.
I mean, it's kind of hard if you've never
Right.
watched like any of my videos, but
Yeah.
it is pretty crazy.
That's pretty crazy.
Where did my phone go? That is just holy. Where'd my phone go? Where'd my phone go? Geeked is like, what's going on? Yeah, I think this calls for a break. This is just insane. Yeah, 9's the highest probability one. I've seen it happen too many times to have this not be the highest probability one. Rewind it. Nah, rewind it. I heard you do some math. I want to learn this, bro. So basically, you add up the numbers of a time, and if the numbers add up of that time add up to a 3, 6, or 9, it's a higher probability candle for your entry. It's a confluence. Don't go blindly full porting a 9, bro. You're gonna get absolutely wrecked. You have no idea. That's not what this is, right? This is basically like an SMT. It's like the cherry on the cake. It's a sprinkle on the cake. It's right. We have the entire model framed, right? We already framed out liquidity sweep displacement with a fair value gap forming and discount, with a fair value gap forming and discount below true opens. This is just the cherry on the cake. The fact that this 1143 candle occurred at a digital root of 9, the fact that that happened, that's just the final cherry on the cake. That's all it is. Insane, right? Insane. Insane, bro. I bet you probably could. I bet you probably could, Geeked. I bet you probably could. Holy crap, bro. Alright, let's go ahead and save this into the journal. What a crazy, crazy thing we just... That's just absolutely mind-blowing. Isn't that insane? And then not to mention, let's say you only entered if you induced the low. Like, let's say you're only interested in taking this if we induce the low. Well, now you just got yourself less than two or three tick entry. Holy crap, bro. Oh my gosh. It's just insane. Isn't that just insane? Alright, this calls for a break, bro. Oh my gosh. What the heck? Bro. And then that, there we go. Oh my gosh. Yeah, let's go ahead and save this. I don't know why Ant-Man is so mad about it. Why is Ant-Man so mad about it? It's just suspicious. It's suspicious. It is kind of suspicious why Ant-Man cares so freaking much about this random live stream. If he cares so much about his EMAs, why is he not watching some EMA YouTuber? Why is he even here? It's interesting. You have to admit. Yeah, I'm gonna take a break too. So I'm gonna take a break. Feel free to rewatch the video. But yeah, I'm gonna take a break, dude. Oh my gosh, my mind just, it can only take so much mind blowingness at once. Honestly, I don't know if that's not a word, but you get what I mean. And also, my voice gets tired and I get headaches really easily. So 1143. I don't even know what to call this, man. I'm just gonna make a note of it. I'm not even gonna mark it as a trade, but like inducement for 2022 model occurs below both true opens at 1143, which is a 369 time. Yeah, that's just write down 1143 in your notes, guys. It's an important one. All right, going on a break. Yeah, I'm coming back.
Yeah, it's just normal. I don't care.
Just hang on one second. It's just crazy, man. It's just crazy. Like, what? All right. What have you guys been saying here? Okay. All right, I am back. Liquidity inducement theorem. Yeah, exactly. It's the numbers Nikola Tesla talked about. Exactly. That's not the important part. Like, yeah, those numbers are cool because Tesla said they're cool. That's not the important part. The important part is like, it's just basically the fact that we're using it as a confluence to get more precise with our entry. It's not. Don't overthink it to the point of Nikola Tesla said that these numbers are gonna be deterministic of the universe or whatever, right? Because the further you go down, like there's. I mean, I'm not saying that maybe there's truth to it. I don't know. But what I'm saying is, sticking, be curious. What's the word? Be curiously questioning. Question it. Don't necessarily believe it just because Tesla said it, right? Just question it. Yo, what up?
You want to play ping pong?
I can't right now. I'm moving back testing.
You still back testing?
Yeah.
Is it live?
Yeah. You want to say hi?
Yeah, I do want to say hi. No, I got here. Take a see here. What is up, chat? How's everyone doing today? How do you see who's texting you?
Right here.
Oh, right here. BJL, bro. What is this Ant-Man guy, dude? Ant-Man doesn't know crap.
This
That's
is
all
Ethan,
I gotta say.
by the way, guys. You might have seen Ethan in the chat a couple times. He's my boy.
Yeah, dude.
All right.
Kick Ant-Man out the chat. That's all I got to
No,
say.
I'm not removing anyone. I'm gonna let people be what they're gonna be like. It's not a big deal.
So no ping pong then?
Not right now.
Alrighty.
Alright. So yeah, what I'm trying to say with the whole 369 stuff is you can get lost down that rabbit hole. Be curious, but don't believe it just because. Don't get lost in stupidity either. Like, stay in the realm of reality while also wanting to learn, because that's where the power really gets real. Because you can actually, once it starts to make sense and you could apply it to your trading, for instance, like I did, right? I can apply this to my trading. We're in the realm of reality. We can deal with this. The second you start saying, "Oh, I'm gonna predict the next," I don't even know. Like, I'm gonna predict the next COVID. Like, okay, I can't do that yet with 369. What if it's possible? I don't know. I don't know if that's possible. If it did, my mind would be blown, just like yours would be. But I'm not gonna go out here saying, "Yo, we're gonna predict COVID. We're gonna know exactly what kind of crisis is gonna happen. We're gonna know when the World War III is gonna happen." No, bro. Let's just stick in the realm of reality. What is useful for us that we understand? It's that when you find a time for a candle to be the digital root of it equaling 9, or a 3 or a 6, that's going to be more accurate for your trade. We're sticking in the realm of reality. Don't go off into this fantasy land of we're gonna predict World War III, and we're gonna also know when the zombie apocalypse is gonna happen. We're also gonna know when Jeff Bezos is gonna become president. No, let's chill out, bro. We're not gonna start being psychics. We're just gonna be in the realm of reality, which is 369. It's a important level. It's important for helping us identify what candle is gonna be the one that induces a low or it is useful for our trade. Cam was able to predict every president. That's crazy. All right, guys. What do we look at now, man? What do we even look at? Like, how crazy would it be if you could, though? That'd be insane. If I'm not gonna get into it. Let's just move on. So let's just clear out the chart here. What should we look at now, guys? I don't even know. Chart BTC. Right now, I'm just trying to stick to just reviewing NQ for the day, but this weekend, like, I could take a look at BTC. Okay. But yeah, the key here, right? The key here is we needed to rebalance this gap. That was the key with this whole move lower. By the way, guys, what is this? Do you want to focus on time or quadrants? Wait, I don't know. What do you mean by quadrants? The new stuff ICT was talking about? Okay. I guess this was kind of too early in the morning, but I was going to say there might have been a propulsion block within here. I don't know. I can't find it. Let's just go back to this, right? So we had a 15-minute for Vigap. $15-minute for Vigap. It got rebalanced, and then we went higher. So I'm actually curious because I'm. It's possible there was a propulsion block in here. It's possible that there was. Yeah, if you look at it like this, like same thing, same deal. Let's get rid of the true open. Let's get rid of the breaker structures. Let's say you didn't care about the 2022 model, right? So this is interesting, right? We have a liquidity sweep here. This is something that you can just learn from chart time, right? When you see a sweep of a low and you see this form like an OB here, right? So that's an OB. Whoops. So OB. Oh, let's look at NDogs really quickly. Sorry guys, I can't read chat that fast. Look at that, guys. This was a really nice 15-minute trade. 15-minute aligning with the 1 minute. I talked about it live on stream. I was just a little too late for it. Okay, OB, right? Manipulating that low. Then I like this as a propulsion block. Like this whole thing. Now you could use that, but we don't tap that. I don't know. I just kind of chart things up to just figure things out. That's how else do you learn, right? I think PSPs are, you know, they're helpful, but I don't completely understand them yet, so I don't totally utilize them. It's probably the extent that a lot of other people do. And that's totally fine. I'm just sticking to what I understand so far in my trading journey. So, OB, PB. So now you see how we get this SMT here. I'm curious if we get 15-second change in state out of this. Yeah. Right. 15-second change in state. We retest that pretty nicely right here. So this is my Dynamis model where you look for a propulsion block and then change in state out of it. Not really a conventional one, right? But you can just kind of you can kind of just almost, you don't need to necessarily see it as like a literal like textbook propulsion block. You just kind of conceptualize it like this is the move lower that took liquidity. This whole thing is gonna be an order block, right? Just conceptualize it. Don't literalize it, right? This is the move down that pushes into the propulsion block. So, or that pushes into the order block. So this thing's propulsion block. So just when you can start to conceptualize it instead of taking it literally, you start to see it a little easier than if you had been taking it literally, like, oh, it needs to look exactly like this no, just conceptualize what's going on. OB, PB, SMT, change in state. We can project this out. Just tap the sniper model right there. Yeah, we go 4 projections up. Right to that LRLR. Have you tried using 0, 0, 0.382, 0.618 to predict AMD on the time axis? I have no idea how to do that. Sounds interesting, but like I said, if it's not in the realm of reality for me to be able to actually use it, I don't apply it to my trading until then. But it's not to say that it's not true. I just don't get it yet, and that's just where I'm at for a lot of things. So, nice little Dynamis model here. Yeah, I've looked at that. I actually used to look at that back in the day, BLJ, but but I couldn't make sense of it. Maybe I was just too dumb, but yeah, I think it's cool though. But it's like there's probably something to it. But yeah, I just try and stick into the realm of what makes sense to me so far in my trading journey, and then I just use that. I don't know what it is. Sounds interesting though. So yeah, you can start to see kind of what happened here and why it did. So this is my Dynamis model. I have a video coming out on this at some point. I don't know when. Okay, 11:57 Dynamis retest. 1 minute. I'm just gonna put in brackets R for retest. I don't know, guys. I've been looking at this for quite some time. Obviously, there's so much more to look at, but I might just be done. There's so much. Obviously, there's infinite to look at, but I might just be done. I don't know. How many people are watching? It depends how many people are watching. If there's a lot of people watching, maybe I'll keep going. 7. It's not bad. It's actually pretty good. Oh my gosh. Yeah, I'm glad. I might keep going, but I don't know. Still deciding. I guess there was an inversion right here, right? I'm not saying it's necessarily like crazy high probability, but like we do like come down, sweep out the low, come back up. inverse this gap. I don't know. I guess let's mark it out. Once again, though, you'd have to be on the charts at this time. All of this price action, it was kind of useless, which is the hard part of trading, is you have to get to the part where it's good. So I don't know, man. I'm starting to get a headache again. I look at them quite a bit. A lot of time it will be geeked, but I'm not. I would just experiment with it with yourself. Oh man, maybe I just need another break, guys. I don't know. Once again, tricky AM price action. So we got this bearish SMT here. Nah, bro, get off. I don't want to. I don't want to. I need to. Oh, man, I want to get better at consistently doing market recaps. It's hard. Did I record the 15-minute, 1-minute trade in the morning? Alright, I'll show you guys the trade. That was really nice. And there might have been, that was in the morning that we just barely missed. But it was really nice. So the trade I was referring to, it was so easy. It almost made me mad how easy it was. I talked about it on the stream. My goal is just to be a great trader. That's my goal. There's no deeper meaning. So you can see this 15-minute for value gap was discount of this displacement leg. So 15-minute discount for value gap. It was so obvious. It almost, yeah, like I said, it almost kind of made me mad. But, you know, discount for value gap on the right-hand side of the curve. You can see how these lows were kind of forming like a little high resistance little thing. And then on the 1 minute, what happened was, well, we used new day opening gap right there. So, like I said, this actually kind of just made me mad that it was this easy and I missed it, because I got on the charts 8:30 Eastern, and well, you had to catch it right here. Not necessarily easy, because I had to, you know, start charting up and stuff. Okay, so there's that new day opening gap. It's another confluence. We have high resistant liquidity. And main thing I was anticipating us to go 4 projections up from this, so I was anticipating us to continue here. So kind of want to see if there's a true open here actually. So yeah. Wait. Yeah, I'm honestly getting too tired for this, but just very. This is the last thing I'm going to talk about. We had a 1 minute changing state here, and like I said, it's just so stupid how easy it was, right? 1 minute CSD, and then yeah, off the end dog. Yeah. Anyway. 7 projections. All right. $9. Oh, yo, 9 o'clock. What is that? 369 time. What a coincidence. What a coincidence. What a coincidence. 9 o'clock. 9:54 of the lowest one. 8:50. It was 8:51. But notice, here's the important one. This is the important one. The important one is 8:55. Why is 8:55 the important one? Well, that's when we get the displacement out of the end dog. So that's the one that I would even be wanting to refer to, honestly. 8:55. 8:55 is 10 plus 8 is 18, and then 1 plus 8 is 9. So this is the one I'd even care about in the first place. Right? So, like, for instance, you see that displacement candle occurred at 9. Take it like that. So. Sometimes what matters isn't the actual low, it's the displacement out of it. Because the displacement out of it is what tells you, what confirms to you that that level was respected. But also, this was a 369 time. 9. $15-minute, aligning with the 1 minute. Honestly, I really only like 9. I think 9 is the best one. I don't care about the other ones. I don't care about 3 and 6. Alright, now there's probably no one watching. Be surprised if there's still 6. Is there actually? Oh my gosh. Alright, I think I need to call it, because I don't know, man. Like, obviously I want to make a market recap today. Obviously I want to do all these things. But I'm only human, and I wish I could just make a market recap every day, and I wish I could backtest and hit the gym and live trade and work during the day and do everything. But unfortunately, I'm a human being. It sucks. I wish I wasn't. I wish I was just superhuman. One day at a time, guys. One day at a time. So, hopefully you guys enjoyed this live stream. Appreciate you guys all being here and hanging out with me. And yeah, see you guys. Well, for those of you who want to come watch me tomorrow, live trade, hopefully we can catch something good. We'll see. We'll try our best. I'll try my best as always. So, with that, hopefully you guys enjoyed the live stream. I'll see you later. Peace out. Much love, guys.